Hey everyone, before we dive in, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next story. He should have looked after him better. That's what my sibling blurted out, loud enough for everyone in the room to catch, right after the will was read. It named him the successor to the huge company worth millions and handed me the beat-up old family home. Chuckles bounced off the walls in the meeting room. Relatives averted their eyes. The attorney coughed awkwardly. I stayed quiet. I dug my thumb into the metal house key until it stung and watched my brother smirk, like he'd claimed victory for good. Then the attorney looked my way and added, "In fact, things are about to change. If you want to see what happened next, stick around with me." The morning my dad passed, the place smelled like fresh brew and hospital cleaner. I'd been dozing in the recliner next to his bed for weeks, snapping awake every couple hours to monitor his breaths and make sure the oxygen tube stayed in place. His hand felt warm even as his heartbeat faded. My father, Robert Harlan, wasn't the type to say "I love you." He proved it with routine, with organization. An ex-military guy who became an entrepreneur. He grew Harlan Print Services from one machine in our garage to a company worth millions. Folks in town knew him as the silent commander. He figured strict rules could solve it all: equipment, folks, even sorrow. Then there was Alex, my big brother by a couple years. As kids, he was the star, the outgoing one, the self-assured one, the kid dad labeled as the next boss before he even finished high school. Alex could win over anybody, educators, funders, ladies way older than him. He had dad's ambition, but zero of his restraint. Where dad constructed, Alex boasted. Where I paid attention, Alex put on a show. Our lives went in totally opposite directions. I turned into a home decorator, taking gig work around the area. Alex headed to the city in sharp outfits, preaching about expansion like it was his faith. We barely talked unless it was through dad. When mom passed 6 years back, whatever family bond we had left shattered completely. In dad's last months, I was the only one sticking around. Alex phoned maybe twice a month, quick updates that always wrapped with, "Keep it up, sis. You're awesome." He never bothered to ask what awesome looked like when you're spooning soup to a guy at midnight or wiping up dropped pills at 3 a.m. The home care nurse, Sarah Jenkins, showed up every day at 9. She'd been part of our lives for more than a decade, starting as dad's accountant, then his helper when his heart started giving out. Sarah had that calm insight that could take over a space. Sometimes she'd stop at the doorway and mention, "He's really proud of you, Ella. He just isn't sure how to express it." I'd nod, acting like I bought it. One stormy dawn, right before sunrise, Dad had me crack the windows. Chilly breeze floated in, bringing the scent of damp woods. He gazed toward the trees he'd set in the ground the year I came along and told me, "You always spot the little things. That's your gift. Never let anybody make you question it." He slipped away 2 days after, peacefully, like he'd completed the final sentence of a lengthy note. At the service, Alex showed up in a sleek, dark designer suit and shades too opaque for the overcast sky. He worked the crowd like a candidate, gripping hands, appreciating folks for coming. When people gave sympathies, he twisted every comment back to the business, dad's achievement, upcoming growth ideas. I lingered by the coffin, feeling unseen. After it ended, Alex patted my back. "You managed everything great." Dad would have been impressed. Then he grinned, part pity, part claiming. 3 weeks on, the attorney summoned us for the will readout. That was the day Alex's chuckle echoed through the space, the day he voiced it. He should have looked after him better. But really, my father had already provided for me, just not in a way Alex could ever grasp. The firm of Thompson and Partners reeked of wood shine and aged wealth. The big wooden table went on way too long, gleaming under harsh lights. On one end sat Alex, legs crossed, shiny links on his cuff showing off his swagger, owning the room like strong scent. On the other, me, clutching my purse on my knees, avoiding the gaze of the wall plaques bragging top in inheritance law. The attorney, Mr. Ellis, had handled our family stuff forever. He fixed his specs, coughed, and started reciting. The terms rolled out stiff and official, like ripping off sticky tape from a healed cut. "To my son, Alex Harlan, I bequeath Harlan Print Services, covering all its properties, funds, and activities worth around $4 million. I caught a low whistle, Alex's naturally. He eased back, grinning like it was his crowning moment. Then Mr. Ellis went on. To my daughter, Ella Harlan, I bequeath the family home at 42, Maple Lane, along with everything inside it. Quiet hit. Even the AC seemed to stop. Alex let out a quick snort. The home, with the sagging roof. He leaned toward the attorney, fake whispering but loud for all. Looks like she gets exactly what she earned. Some uneasy laughs trickled out. I stayed still, just fixing on the printed line, hoping I'd overlooked a note, a detail, an explanation. But nope. Mr. Ellis's voice turned a bit sorry. That wraps up the reading. I scribbled where directed, the pen shaking just once. Alex got up, stretched, and declared, well done deal. Guess Dad figured out who could really manage the big stuff. I wanted to yell, to demand why Dad, who'd seen me burn the midnight oil on his pill schedules, figured I rated nothing beyond flaking walls and overdue bills. But no, I grabbed my purse, gave the attorney a polite nod, and walked out. In the corridor, Alex caught me. Don't make it a big deal, he said with a smile that lacked warmth. Next round, skip the caregiver role. Might land you something valuable. That instant, my breath vanished. He strode off whistling, phone already at his ear, chatting deals and exec sign-offs. I went outside, the evening sun warming my cheeks, and glanced at the metal key in my grip. It felt solid, heated from my hand. No clue why, but I couldn't release it. Maybe it unlocked more than a wrecked place. Maybe it was the single item my father meant for me to discover. The first evening back at the home felt like entering a spirit's past. Particles drifted like lazy flakes. Every plank groaned. The cooking area still held a hint of Dad's old pipe scent, even though he'd quit ages ago. I dropped my bag on the counter, turned the tap, and saw Rusty liquid cough out. This was my inheritance. Decay, drips quiet. I roamed from space to space, fingering the edges of faded picks still tilted on the walls. Mom beaming by the maple trees. Alex at 10 with his initial award. Me, tiny, nearly cut from the shot. In the sitting area, I dropped onto the couch and looped Alex's words in my mind. Next round, skip the caregiver role. It wasn't merely a dig. It sealed his win, that Dad's final move picked him. For the first time in ages, I allowed tears. Not dramatic, just constant, the sort that drains you enough to think straight again. Next day, rays streamed through curtain slits. I brewed Java in Dad's vintage pot and strolled into his office. The drawers stayed tidy like always, pencils aligned, bills piled, all in order. But shifting the desk to clean under it, a thud came from the panel. I stopped, tapped once, empty ring. 2 feet over, solid. Heart racing. I knelt, sliding fingers on the trim till a gap appeared, a thin line where color mismatched. Snagged a driver from the kit, forced it, and uncovered a little steel plate with buttons, a lock code. I gazed long, then punched the digits that fit, Mom's special day. It beeped, a gentle whir, and swung wide. In there, a sturdy box, compact but roomy. My fingers trembled yanking it free. A note stuck on top, my name in Dad's script. If you're seeing this, you located what I hoped you'd spot. This wasn't ever about cash, Ella. Inside, account papers, fund records, and a small metal key marked City Trust Bank. Vault 418. I sat eyeing the note, the box, specks twirling in beams. All along, he hadn't overlooked me. He relied on me to uncover it. I tucked the message neat, gripped the vault key firm, and murmured to the vacant space, "All right, Dad. I'll complete what you began." Next dawn, I headed to City Trust Bank in the center. The metal key grew weightier in my pocket each block. It was the crisp spring day Dad adored, clear blue, fresh breeze, light bouncing off cars. He'd have noted, perfect for creating anew. I parked beneath a maple's shadow and lingered, hands sweaty, eyeing the stone stairs to the entry. The bank carried scents of cleaner and docks. A lady in her 50s came over with a trained grin. Tag said Miss Patel, manager. "I believe this fits one of your vaults," I offered, setting the tiny key on her surface. She checked it, then me with slight recall. "Harlan, I confirmed. Her face eased. Your dad was precise. Always Fridays, exact hour, same mug. She led through thick doors to the secure zone. Walls buzzed softly from temp controls. We halted at the small vault labeled 418. Whenever you're ready, she said, stepping out. The mechanism turned smooth. Inside, orderly stacks of files, closed packets, one memory stick. Top file said funds 2005 to now. Every paper listed stocks, secure notes, holdings I'd never heard of. Bottom, packet with my name. I eased it open. Ella, if this is in your hands, you aced the challenge I couldn't set for your brother. Alex always gauged value by cheers. You by work. I made the firm for him to lead, but this for you to get. And here's all I've set aside since you were 10. Yours. Handle smart, low-key, keep pride away. You were my counterweight. Impress me. Love, Dad. The figure swam. $3 million overall. Plenty to fix the home. Clear dues. Breathe easy. But beyond, it confirmed. Confirmed I wasn't unseen. I covered my mouth and chuckled once, wobbly and soft. That day, I rang Mr. Ellis. Set a meeting, I told him, with Alex there. He paused. Estate issue? About wrapping up, I answered. Alex came 2 days after. Tardy like usual, his aroma arriving first. Same big table, same office, but the vibe shifted. Heavier, waiting. I sat opposite, steady, a file before me. He plopped down, showing that rehearsed smile. What's up? Ready to offload the old place. Mr. Ellis joined his hands. Actually, Alex, some points on your dad's separate assets require clearing. Alex scowled. Separate assets? Yes. Mr. Ellis flipped a new file, the one I'd given him. Your father kept an independent fund, omitted from the first will. He directed reveal only after specific steps. Alex's grin faltered. What steps? I spoke up first. That I located on my own. He snorted. Locate what? Some dusty papers. Mr. Ellis fixed his specs. Hardly. The fund covers varied stocks, land titles, funds over $3 million, solely for your sister. The statement lingered like a gong. Alex paled, but Mr. Ellis echoed slow. Your sister, Ella Harlan, sole heir to your dad's private fund. Alex faced me, tone breaking. You knew. I discovered, I said plain. In the home you mocked. He shook his head. No, Dad wouldn't stash that from me. Mr. Ellis exhaled. He did, to observe how you'd each manage your share. You got the firm, Alex. Your sister, the home. Alex banged the table. That firm was doomed. He primed you to sink or swim, I noted soft. He whirled, anger rising. This makes you superior? Pure luck. I held his stare, seeing the kid from way back, desperate to triumph whatever. No, I said, tested and succeeded. Mr. Ellis coughed, firm. One final note your dad wanted read out. He unsealed it, spread the page. To my kids, Alex, leading means duty, not dominance. I handed you the firm to grow, not gloat. Ella, you grasped worth without hunting it. You noticed the mist. That's why tomorrow's yours. Silence fell. Alex's teeth clenched. Left me a failing biz. Her a jackpot. Gave us our fits, I said. His seat scraped loud as he rose. Think it's done? It is, I stood too. Difference, Alex. You see cash as proof. I see decisions. He bolted, door banging, frame shaking. Mr. Ellis stacked docs calm. Your dad'd be proud, Ella. Not the gain, but what stage yours? I smiled light. He talked starting from basics. A week on, I returned to the home. Sky glowed amber, meadows buzzing with insects. I approached the steps with paint can in hand, metal key in the other. The lock clicked easy, like eager. Inside, beams slanted over worn planks, highlighting particles and echoes. I laid trust docs on the table, organizing schemes, bills, the note. Alex rang that night. I nearly ignored, but wonder prevailed. His tone tight. Ella, the firm's broke. Checks failed, customers bailed. Need aid, a bridge, to stay up. I gazed at maples dancing in dusk. Dad gave you millions in value, I said gentle. You could have saved it. No chance. Errors. Then mend, I urged. He quieted, then snapped. Always acted holier. No, I countered. Just listen to him. You. Before reply, I ended. Set the phone, lifted Dad's note. Words hazy in low light, but memorized. He hadn't ditched me. Believed in me. The home seemed rotten outside, but core strong. A base to rebuild. I stepped to the deck, spot where he'd said, accuracy shows care. Thanks, I breathed to dark. Far off, thunder grumbled soft like delayed claps. 2 years went before the home's quiet stopped aching. Roof held tight. Fresh coat shone creamy in dawn. What Alex dubbed trash became base for my little decor business, Maple Lane Designs. Customers traveled from close areas, pulled to cozy spots crafted by one who knew mending. Folks claimed I had Dad's touch, deliberate, reliable, transforming damage to enduring. Alex's name surfaced occasionally, whispers via kin or past staff. Relocated to city, average sales roll, ditched rides. The kingdom he touted vanished bit by bit. No gloat from me, just serene fairness. He'd lived Dad's point, command sans modesty crumbles. I still unlock the bank vault now and then, not for funds or files, but the note. Edges faded a touch, words fresher each view. You were my counterweight. That stuck. Perhaps it all balanced. Dad didn't penalize Alex or prize me. Adjusted our paths loads. On bright nights, I perch on entry steps with Java mug, hearing breeze and maples, the ones Dad planted long ago. Anger gone, just thanks for the standing home. For the insight slow to sink, for evidence the soft-spoken often close the tale. This dawn, rays touched the deck like Dad's last day, warm, gold, constant. I stood barefoot, brew in grip, eyeing gusts and maple foliage. First time, no thoughts of Alex's grab. Focused on my creation. Dad's words rang in recall. Accuracy shows care. Spot on. Payback needed no blaze or clamor. Just waiting. I secured the door with that original metal key and grinned. The home wasn't merely mine. It proved being undervalued can be the strongest edge. If you've been the low-key family member sticking back while others grabbed glory, you get this vibe. Share your tale below and remember to subscribe for what's coming.